What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome, everybody. Let's get it. And you guys see today, four fellas, not three. And we're super excited to today have a little different one for you guys because we're wrapping it up. Our series, our friendship series, which is amazing. We're really excited to be back on another Wednesday. And we brought a special guest. But first and foremost, let me introduce the crew. To my right, the one and only, my duo, Mr. Jones Fumbly. What's up, baby? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Bro, we didn't get to play Apex, bro. I jump in and I cannot log in. Matter of fact, I had the PlayStation in front of
Yep.
me and still says that I cannot log in. Actually, I haven't tried in like
I
an
know,
hour,
it was a
but
bummer.
is it not working? Did you figure it out why? Did they tweet about
No,
it?
it's working now.
Oh, it is working now?
I think they were just doing maintenance. Well, it wasn't maintenance. I think they were probably getting DDoS attacked or something, but you know how it is. Because it's
Mine's
like the
still
middle of the day, so I doubt it's maintenance.
mine's still not working, so bummer.
I would restart it. It should work.
Yeah, probably will. The co-star of the show, Mr. Adrian Indolos. What's up, baby? How are you doing, man?
What up? What up? I'm
Yo,
good. I'm
gotta-
cold. It's very
it's
nipply
freezing,
outside.
dude.
It's very nipply.
Bro, I walk out today at like 12 at lunchtime, right? Because I'm working from home. And I always take out the puppies while my lunchtime is so they can play and stuff. But I always go out and refill their water bucket, right? Because they drink a lot, they run all the time. So I go to the water and I see it full, and I'm like, okay, cool. I guess we're fine. And then I see one of my dogs lick on it, and no splashiness comes out. I'm like, no way, bro. It's completely frozen. I pull it up and it's like rock solid frozen, bro. I mean, sick. I had to like hit it to empty it and put new water for them. So I feel pretty bad. They had freezing cold water today, but it's really cold. And this is the first day. It's going to be really bad the next coming week, right? It's going to be, I mean, Tuesday's going to be what? The high is going to be like 16 degrees. The low is -6 or something.
Something like that. I just love the fact
Yeah.
that I was able to get away with saying nipple on your
It's
show.
okay. It's fine, bro. You know, it's a body part. You know, it is what it is.
Nipply.
Nipply cold, he says.
It's nipply cold.
All right, guys, and if you're wondering what the amazing four face it is, that won't work anymore, Travis. You already did it too late, brother. You should have done that before you joined. My bad. I never explained that to you, but that is too late to do that. Anyways, we have our amazing, really good friend, and especially the most amazing prayer warrior on the team, the guy behind the scenes is always praying for you, man. Mr. Travis, baby. Welcome to the show for the first time ever. How are you doing tonight, my man? You muted. I think you're muted, or you disconnected your mic or something. Try a second try. Unmute. Give it a shot. No, we can't hear you. It's okay. Go down to the three dots in there right next to your name. It has a mic and a 3-dot setting. Click on the 3-dot setting. Go to the microphones to make sure you're select the right microphone, which should be like headset or something like that. In the meantime, AI, have you started your rank season yet for Apex, or have you played some games or no? Because you told us last week that you're gonna play some, or are you slacking, slacker?
You know, what's funny is that at the same time, a new season of Destiny 2 came out. And they have a really cool new exotic weapon. And it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's an exotic bow and arrow that shoots 3 arrows that tracks your enemies. Come on. Like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'll get on Apex eventually.
Okay, fine.
Plus, I never know when you guys play, so you just gotta hit me up when there's like, hey, let's get on. I'm like, all right, cool.
We always play at night, dude. It's a night.
Yeah, literally
That's
every
fine.
night.
I can get on after Mallory goes to bed.
Yeah,
she
I mean,
say good night first.
That's the time that I play at least. John stays up pretty late because he's an hour ahead of us, and he still plays with me. So, Travis,
He's
give it a
dedicated.
shot. Nope. So what you're gonna do, sir, is you're gonna leave. Click on leave. Hold on, let me explain you first before you leave. You click on leave. You're gonna go back to the Discord message. You're gonna open that link, but close your other apps. Like you have a browser open, messages open, everything needs to be closed. turn it sideways before you join, so we can see your full picture, not like this that you have it right now, and then join like that and give it another try. Okay, we'll get started without you, but go ahead, do that now. All right, boys. So let's get started. Obviously, you guys will get to hear Travis here hopefully in a minute. John also disappeared because he just now realized that he's got an ugly face and we don't need to see it, which is really good. In the meantime, never mind. He's back.
True.
It is true. Travis! I know we're excited, Kevin. We're excited, but we couldn't hear him, unfortunately. Let's hit up some good news, fellas. How are we doing today? Hit me with some real good AI. What you got, buddy? Tradition of this show. I'm ready.
You want to. Okay, I could share some good news.
Okay.
Or I could show you some good news.
Okay, show me good news, bro.
I'm gonna see. Okay, leader, don't hate me, but I'm gonna hijack your show here.
You man, by all means, go for it.
I'm gonna share screen. I think I can do that.
Yes, I think you can. I just need to give you permission. We've never done this before, stream, so we're gonna figure it out here. But it's supposed to. This we're supposed to allow you to do that.
Oh no! Give me permission.
I give you permission.
Did you?
Yeah. I want to stop here. Do it again.
Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. Follow these steps.
Are you go with directions?
Okay. So security. Okay. So John, I'm gonna pass the ball to you real quick because I gotta figure this out.
Okay, John. Good news from you, bud. I like the face, by the way.
Made it to platinum in Apex.
Let's go.
Got a whole bunch of work done today.
The same day too, dude.
Yeah, we did. It's true.
We did.
It's true. Same lobby and everything.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's always good news, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I drank lots of water today.
Dude, I'm excited about this season, bro. Honestly, this is like I'm enjoying Kings Canyon. So for those of you guys that are not familiar with Apex, there's a new season that came up, and they brought back my favorite map, which is the very first one they did. Is Apex Canyon. They made it bigger, but it's so much fun. It's their anniversary season, so they also have really cool skins. The competition level has gotten a lot better. So for me, also kind of, I guess, if you will, the good news for me will be I'm really, really enjoying this new season. They brought a new gun, which I'm really liking. The meta has changed a little bit. There's a like mid-range battles are really important right now, but you don't lose importance of the short-range battles, which is what my specialty before. I was a rusher. I was like, 99 Mastiff or 301 99, right? Or 301 Mastiff. That was kind of my combo over the last year or so. And now I can comfortably play the new gun, the 3030, and a somewhat of a short range gun, I guess, if you will, like a 301 or a 99. And it's dope, bro. So the meta is a little bit different, but it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. But that's cool. Really all right, we got Travis back, I think. Travis, give it a shot. I'll mute yourself.
Leader, you can't crucify me for wanting to play Destiny 2 whenever there's new cool weapons in there.
No, I agree. I'm not crucifying you. No, I didn't fight you. I don't know if you were, I didn't say nothing. I just said, okay, cool. That makes sense.
I'm just teasing.
That's fine. Travis, give it a shot, buddy. Are you here with us?
Can you hear me?
Boom! Let's get
it.
Yeah, just make sure while you are in here, dude, don't answer text messages, don't open them, nothing like that, because you're on your phone. The moment you do anything in your phone right now, it'll crash it'll take you out of the scene. So you'll probably kind of like went somewhere else while you were here, probably, or something. I don't know. But normally, I mean, it's a software, right? It's technology. It's difficult to manage either way. And it's made for a computer. They don't have like an app yet. They're working on it. But it's pretty dope. So glad to have you, buddy. Welcome. Tell us. Hey, tell us what it's how do you feel right now joining for the first time? And also follow-up question: what's up with your gamer tag? Explain us what how you say it, what it means, all that, dude.
All right. I'm nervous. You can tell I'm already nervous.
You're fine, bro. You're fine. Come on, bro. You're fine.
But nickname is Baby Huey. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or looked it up, but when you guys get a chance, when you're at home, look it up. It's called Baby Huey. Everybody calls me that. I'm a big kid at heart, so it's if whenever you look it up, you'll see it's a duck. So and the way he looks is funny. So
Very good. Do they call you baby for short, or is it gotta be the whole baby Huey thing?
Baby Huey. That's the
baby
whole deal.
Huey, the whole thing, the whole deal, or not Huey. It's gotta be either the whole thing or none type of
or
deal.
you could say Huey, and I would understand it, or baby Huey.
Okay, gotcha. So wait, why is not your gamer tag that though? Because I play with you, and your gamer tag is Travis. That's a boring gamer tag. Like, what kind of name is that, bro? Who would name someone Travis? We're just kidding. Just messing with you. Okay, Travis. Every single time on this show, we always give some good news. So tell us some good news from you this last week, bro. Hit us with some good news.
Some good news.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really what's awesome is I was able to pay rent for last month and be caught up. I was worried that I wasn't gonna make rent, but I ended up paying it, so it worked out.
Let's go, bro. Hey, we'll always take the small victories, right? Any victory is a victory. We'll take them, bro.
Amen to
awesome.
That.
Well, welcome to the show. For everybody that is watching, please say hi. I want to see you all say hi to Travis in chat, please. Everybody gotta type in hi, Travis. Hi, baby Huey. Whatever you want to say.
Hi,
welcome, Travis. Our prayer, our amazing prayer. Well, by the way, he's the guy who leads us into prayer after the show. He'll remind us at the end of it to join us in Discord, which is nice to have him here to do that as well. But he's the man who leads us in prayer, and he's amazing. He prays overnight for us. Yeah, he prays. He's on prayers at 2 a.m. when someone posts things like, "Hey, I need a prayer" and stuff. He's amazing. We're glad to have him, and I've told him a long time ago that he's going to be part of the show at some point and join us as a guest. And we thought this was a really good opportunity, given the fact that he's a good friend of ours, and we can close this series out good. Look at all these people, Travis. Look at all the love that you're getting, man. All the love. Firm, my baby, and just thank you guys so much for joining us today. Howdy. Are we ready to start, fellas? Are we ready to close out this series? Bro, I'm excited,
my good
bro.
News.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Hey, I totally forgot. You became irrelevant the moment that Travis was here with voice. So I apologize.
Oh, believe me, this will be worth it.
Okay,
this will be worth it.
Go.
All right,
waiting.
Ready?
Drum roll. I gotta add it. Bada boom. We're gonna make it bigger. Bada boom. All right. Show us what are we looking at here? Wait, I can't see. I can't see the
screen. Hold on.
Oh. What? You're doing an edit of the show?
Yeah.
What? No way, bro. No, we can't hear it. No, we can hear it. And
we can't hear it.
The software won't allow it because it blocks, music. It blocks a bunch of stuff. Oh, bro, I cannot wait, dude. Is that Percy? That's Percy, right?
That is Percy.
Okay.
I'm super excited for this.
Dude, this is gonna be amazing.
I really wish you could hear it because it's I got a sick beat and everything to it. I even changed my voice to sound like Morgan Freeman.
Are you serious?
Morgan Freeman is narrating our intro video.
Did you add it? Very important question. Did you add the sounds that I cannot add and stuff like that, or no?
I mean, I can.
Okay.
There's also a countdown at the end, so there should replace your countdown. And I'm trying to keep it under a minute, so.
Let's go, bro. Thank you for that, dude. You're amazing. Look at that. I cannot wait. When is it going to be ready? I
was trying to get ready by tonight, honestly, but I ran out of time. So it should be, I know. It's not like I had a lot of personal stuff going on, which we won't mention on the show, but it's fine.
Okay, so this is what we'll do. Tell us when it's going to be ready. On a non-Wednesday stream where I can share with sound, because I cannot do it on this stream, let me know, and we'll do the premiere on another day that is not a Bible Talk premiere for it. Well, all y'all can be there and we can watch together.
Honestly, I can text it to you tonight, and then you can see, you can have your own private screening, and then we can figure out the premiere.
Sounds good. Let's do it. I won't share it then let's not share until we can do this. Yeah. That'll be dope. Bro, I'm excited. Yeah. Look at you. Okay, Adrian. Okay. I like it, dude. Thank you. You have to do that. This is the kind of friends that I have guys, just for if you're wondering, AI is like unbelievably amazing. He's always like, just whenever you think he can top himself, he always does it. So, anywho, are we ready, guys? Let's
Thanks,
go,
leader.
bro. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. Okay, back to you, AI.
He's hype now.
Let's okay, chat. Okay, first and foremost, I am too excited for this, and I just had a Mountain Dew fuel, amp fuel, or whatever that's called, game fuel. It's called game fuel. It's really, really good. So I'm a little hype up. But first and foremost, we gotta make sure that everybody understands how this show works. Welcome to Bible Talk, guys. My name is literally the only one. We do this every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Time. We're super happy to have you back, and I always gotta explain how this works. Okay, number one, this is a platform where a group of friends and me get together to talk about the Bible. This is not a Bible study nor place of discussion. This is us just sharing with you guys something that we believe in, that we are very passionate about, that we just want to share, right? Just like you're with whenever you get with friends and that one friend has something that he wants to share out of love and because he cares or she cares. That's kind of what this is. So mind you, please don't fight with us over here. I'm not one to fight to begin with, other than Apex and maybe tennis and pickleball. John is though, so join him. Join us on Discord and send him messages over there. Fight him over there. Good luck with that, and also fight him a 1v1 on Apex. Good luck with that as well. But feel free to do that over there. Just that's not what we do here, but welcome. We do want to hear from you. We want to hear messages. We want to hear questions. We want to hear what you have to say. And so please do comment. We love to hear from you guys. We love the love that you guys have been giving us lately, and how we're moving up and growing as a community. So welcome for that. Having said that, let's get ready to rumble. AI, what do you? Oh yes, Travis, you're raising your hand. You have something to say, buddy.
So, because I'm not able to jump on and actually send a message, guys, if you need to pray about anything, please send it on here. Please. So I can start praying and also do the broadcast at the same time, because it's actually feels good. And put it on here, send it as a private message, or send it on Discord. Like John, like Leader always said, it doesn't matter what time it is. We always got a great team that loves to pray. So
that is a big amen to
there
that, baby.
That's our prayer leader right there.
Our prayer warrior, man. Welcome, Travis, to the show. I'm so excited to have you. Okay, let's get started. Let's get this show on the road. AI, the floor is yours, baby. Talked about the last 5 weeks. We talked about friendship. What are we talking about? Where are we at? What's up, man?
So we talked about Friends, not the TV show, but like friend in Jesus Cristo, for our Spanish friends, clean. Jesus Christ for all the white people out there. And I don't know other languages, but I think I just call him Jesus Christ. Anyways, so we talked about being friends and what it means to be a friend, and how a true friend is actually closer than blood. But that doesn't mean that blood can't be a true friend. Like we used John's wife Lauren, and how her best friend is her sister. We have our own best friends that may or may not be blood related, but it's we talked about shared experiences, and how like the foundation in which your friendship is based on is super important, because it could be something as fickle as like, oh, we went to college together and we were best friends then, and then like after graduation, like like we know that we exist, but we're not close, versus something like what we share in having a friendship in that's founded and grounded in Christ and in our faith, which is something that's never going to go away. And that just means that our friendship is not just here on earth, but is also waiting for us when we enter the gates of heaven. So we talked about all that. We talked about how man was not meant to be alone, that even before sin entered the world, God saw that Adam, the first man, was not meant to be lonely, and that he needed a true partner, even though he had all the dogs, cats, dolphins, seagulls, crabs, and other animals, and anemones.
Anemones, for sure.
And M&Ms. He needed a true partner, so God made another human, called her Eve, and they got married because like that's what you do. You marry your best friend. So, anyways, am I missing anything?
I think you did a good job summing it up. I mean, I got all the notes, but I think you nailed it.
And that was all by memory too. That's 5 weeks worth of trying to remember stuff.
Pretty impressive. Yeah. I think that the few things that you missed
Your
out
memory's
on
killing it.
Was I think just the one episode where we were in Proverbs pretty deep, which is the God of friendship and talking about like keeping secrets from each other and lying to one another and trust. But other than that, bro, I think you nailed it, dude. With everything else. Holy cow. You're always really good at this. And I always put you in the spot and you're ready to roll, dude. Thank you for that.
I know it's coming every week, so
that's true.
For it. He's got a bullet points next to him.
He certainly does.
It's actually right here on my screen. You just can't see it.
Cheater.
My memory is my Discord notes.
All right, fam, let's get to roll this episode, The Last of Friends. Let's get it, John. Are we ready, baby? Are we ready to get some reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we need to warm up today, or what's the deal? It's cold, bro, over here in Texas. I feel like over here we need to warm up.
Let's warm up.
Okay, guide us, please.
Let's do that.
So
since we're reading, we're gonna warm up our mouth today.
Okay.
So you go.
Okay. We'll follow in here. Okay.
And then it's really important to make sure that like the double chin
jumping jacks. Do jumping jacks not work?
John is the one who reads, so I'm just following his lead.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay. Oh, no hands? Okay.
There you go. We're good. Yeah,
okay,
no hands. We're
perfect.
Good.
Awesome. Good. Okay.
There you go.
Ready to roll, baby. Let's go. Welcome to eStore. Right. This is the software that we use every single week, fellas. This is shout out to them for always doing a really great job at providing something that is free and it's amazing. Gotta give them a shout out every single time. Their tagline is the sword of the Lord with an electronic edge, and it's amazing. The reason why I liked it a lot is because we have access to multiple versions of the Bible, as you can see on the screen, but most importantly, we get access to the King James Version with the Strong's Dictionary, which allows to access the original language that the Bible was written, and is so rich. Every single week feels like we go through a specific word or two that are just game changers, because friggin' English sucks on how to translate, Greek and Hebrew and Aramaic. So Jess loves our warm up. Thank you, Jess. Appreciate it. It's complicated, but we get it out of the way and we're ready to roll. So that's exciting.
It's
John,
a dynamic, ever-changing warm up.
The dynamic, ever-changing warm up. We've done the fingers thing. We've done. I mean, it's just crazy. You never know.
We've done wrists.
We have absolutely
just about everything.
Just about everything. All right, John, let's get us rolling, baby. John, chapter 15, verses 12 through 17. These are highlighted, which means that we've read them before. Yes. Chapter 15, verses 12 through 17.
This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friend. You are my friends if you do what I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for the servants do not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends. For all that I have heard from my Father, I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you. These things I command you, so that you will love one another.
This is one of the verses that we read last week, talking about how Jesus gives us the privilege to being called friends. We're going to focus today on, and our notes is Jesus is our truest friend, and he also is our king, which is a complicated relationship, but it is a relationship nonetheless. We're also going to talk about the friendship shows that the world that we belong to Jesus, which is really, really important. Hence why he says, I command you. You're my friends if you do the things that I command you, right? So there's a little caveat to his friendship. We're gonna talk a little about love, and we're gonna talk about how joyful we can be with this, which is pretty cool. So let's see. do we dissect this further? Because I feel like we did a really good. Okay, let's just touch up on the few things that we talked about last week about this. Do you all remember? Or actually, better yet, Baby Huey. I kind of want to hear your opinion on what it means for you to be Jesus' friend. So let's start there, because I feel like the three of us talk about this briefly, so it's kind of neat to hear from you from a different perspective. So let's do that. What does it feel for you to be Jesus' friend, and what does that mean?
Being Jesus' friend is it's actually pretty neat to know that he's my king and he's my friend at the same time. It does kind of get confusing on that, but it's actually, it feels good that I can have a king be my friend at the same time, and not just a strict putting a hammer down, or those kind of kings that always put the hammers down on everything, and they had zero friends. What's awesome is having that friend that's willing to listen to the cries and listen to what's going on. Actually feels good. And actually, I kind of relate back to when I start praying it. I am able to pray by talking to him as my friend. I'm not able to not feel the stress of, saying the right words or saying something that might, set him off to make him mad. That's what's awesome. I don't have to worry about that. I can just talk to him as my human friend. That's who he is. And not feel shame of, keeping a secret or anything that he knows that secret. And I'm able to explain that to him. So that's kind of where I kind of look at it as.
Okay.
Is that way.
That's a good point. I think we said some very similar last week, each one of us, when we were talking about this point. Let's focus a little bit on the fact, on kind of like that ownership standpoint of things, right? Of Jesus, of us belonging to him from that standpoint. Excuse me. I like verse 14. Let me bring it up here. It says, "You are my friends if you do the things that I command you." It's pretty interesting because we're supposed to do his commandments no matter what. I don't think friendship is the ultimate goal. I think here more of a result of us nourishing that relationship with him by doing what he tells us to do. And hence, as a result, we are granted with his friendship, which is, I think, is pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. It's also very, very, very nice to see how he chose us first, which is really, really cool. So there's a lot of thought process behind him. And I would love to I'm always the kind of person that loves to think that I can put myself into like God's feet and try to understand. But then again, it's like meaningless to do so because he's God, and it's one of those things that you just can't do, right? So I don't know, man. It's a pretty cool concept. Adrian, John, do we need to touch on this again, or are we going to go? Because I know we read this last week and I heard your opinions, but we need to start today's message or today's topic with this, knowing that we can be his friends through his commandments. Are we good? Are we good to go? Dope. Perfect. Let's move on. Howdy. How are you doing, Foxy? Welcome to the show. Glad to have you. Okay, let's go to the eastward again, and let's visit a very, very tough chapter in the Bible, John chapter 13, sir. And you're gonna read verses 21 through 30. So it's a big chunk, but we're gonna focus on one particular verse. But just read the whole chapter, please. Or not the whole chapter, but the whole section.
After saying these things, Jesus was troubled in his spirit and testified, "Truly, truly, I say to you, one of you will betray me." The disciples looked at one another, uncertain of whom he spoke. One of his disciples, whom Jesus loved, was reclining at table at Jesus' side. Oh, okay. So Simon Peter mentioned to him to ask Jesus of whom he was speaking. So that disciple, leaning back against Jesus, said to him, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, It is he to whom I will give this morsel of bread when I have dipped it. So when he had dipped the morsel, he gave it to Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot. Then after he had taken the morsel, Satan entered into him. Jesus said to him, What are you going to do? What you are going to do quickly. Now no one at the table knew why he said this to him. Some thought that because Judas had the money bag, Jesus was telling him, Buy what we need for the feast, or that he should give something to the poor. So after receiving the morsel of bread, he immediately went out, and it was night.
Troublesome chapter. One of the Jesus' closest one is about to stab him in the back, right? And it's difficult. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a few details. And first, I'm going to put Adrian on the spot. Adrian, I don't expect you to be able to answer this, but I am super curious if you've studied hard enough to where you know, like, culturally, a lot of the things here. So let's talk about first about the intimacy of this dinner that they're having, where they're having a dinner together. Culturally, do you know what that looked like by any chance? I'm super curious.
I mean,
it's very, very
I'm
important.
sorry, what was the question?
Culturally, how did they used to have dinners? This is very, very important because and here's why. Here's where I'm going with this. The paint from what's this guy? Really famous guy that paint the Last Supper.
Da Vinci.
Painting. Thank you. Had it completely wrong, and it's mind blowing that people think that that picture represents how it truly was. Nothing at all. Like not even close. And missing the cultural details in something this important is very, very important because it loses a lot of meaning. And so I'm kind of curious if any one of y'all know, but especially you, Adrian, because you study quite a bit. But I don't know if you study culture. That's the one thing. How were dinners back then? Do you know by any chance or no? Do you have any idea how like how was it?
I think so, but I feel like what I'm about to say is wrong, and I mean,
give it a shot. I'm kind of curious. We can, this is a good topic to have. We can just go back and forth and stuff.
I know that it was very patriarchy, and that like the women served the men.
Very good.
And that very few, actually like women were just not allowed like at the table. Like if men were eating, then women were either like preparing the dishes or cleaning in the kitchen or like whatever, like refilling cups. So I know that much culturally. I don't know if there's a seating arrangement that you're trying to get me to do.
There's a ton more than that. John, do you have any idea where I'm going with this? What all these details are?
Yeah, there were a bunch of details. So usually there was a host, right, or the person of honor, and they would sit in a very specific spot.
Very good.
And they wouldn't sit in chairs. They would sit. They would usually recline, kind of like the Romans.
Very
think
important.
Of the Romans, they're like laying on a couch.
Super important.
Right.
The table was almost floor height, right? That's super important to understand.
Right.
It was
so it's kind
barely
of
off the ground.
Japanese people, how they have the tables with like the sheets on it and it warms underneath. It's kind of like that. You would sit on the floor very low to the ground. And then that's why when Mary was, or whoever it was, the prostitute was cleaning Jesus' feet, she laid at his feet because he was laid out. And then she cleaned his feet with her tears. And then I think the only other real detail would be that they didn't really use plates. They would just kind of put all the food on the table and everybody would just kind of eat it like family style.
Very good.
Yeah.
John missed out on a really important detail, Travis. He kind of hit on it, but he didn't explain it. Do you know? Has to do with how you prepare for dinner.
Oh.
Do you have any idea?
If I remember right, It's more of they have to wash their hands and
very good. Very good.
That was super before they're able to walk in.
That was super important. Do you guys know how that was done? Like, did you do it by yourself? Do you had help? Do you guys have any idea how that worked at all, or no?
I think.
I mean, it was typically the servant, right?
Yes. You would wash your hands yourself, and then a servant will wash your feet. This is super important. You can find chapters in the Bible where the disciples are out there somewhere in the wild at somebody's place, and they don't wash their hands, and people bash them for this. They'll go, "Hey, what's up with your guys not washing?" And Jesus takes that opportunity to, say a story or a teaching moment. But it is super duper important. John hit some really good important notes. There's typically always a host, especially in Jesus's group, because Jesus didn't have a place that he could call home. He was always on the move, right? He was always preaching and moving, so he was always depending on others, which is amazing. So typically there was always a host. Typically you always go in and wash your hands, and then a servant will wash your feet. Hence why the huge parable, or not parable, but teaching moment where Jesus talks about he will wash your feet and all that stuff. We can talk about that later. But specifically to this chapter, something that is really, really important is how they used to eat. After they've done that, they will sit on the table sideways. So they will sit, like this. The table is here, and they'll sit like they'll sit like this. They wouldn't sit like this, not like this. They will sit like this, and this is really, really important because you take a lot of space. If you think about it, you take a lot of space, right? Imagine, you have the table. If I'm not like, I don't even know how to do this. If I'm not like stacked to one another, right? You will take a lot of space sideways. And so eating this way allow you to kind of almost like, I don't want to say spoon, right? Because you're not spooning, but almost like put yourself in a way that you're almost on top of each other kind of thing. And you will eat like that. And that was very, very important because there's a very big detail here with Peter, right? Can you all still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I got a sound of something disconnected on my computer. I don't know what it was. I was hoping it was not my mic. On verse 25, Peter leans back on Jesus's breast, right on his chest, and that is humongous. People tend to miss, like, the Bible is fascinating for many reasons, guys, but the little things to me like take it to a next level, right? The very little things, and people read over this verse. I feel like this is such a crucial passage that people even forget about this. They're just like, oh, cool, healing into Jesus' breast. But it's such a beautiful, intimate, and unique moment that I feel like because we're talking about Judas' betrayal, we forget. So picture this, right? They're having dinner, right? They're laying the way that I showed you. And on that moment, because it was such an intimate moment, it was such a special moment, it was such a high stress, high, intensity and thrill moment, if you will, Peter decides to lean back, which means that he was sitting right next to Jesus, onto his chest, right? So he was always like this, and he leans back, and he's now on Jesus's chest. Right? And that is huge. We're talking about friendships here, and we're talking about Jesus being our friend. Jesus is not afraid to open himself up intimately for you. I'm not talking about sex here, guys. Let's not be dirty. I'm talking about the true love that like a father can give, right? That can embrace you and hug you, and you can be within 2 inches of his heart, type of deal. Right, Peter needed at that moment. It's almost like, I mean, we cannot guess, right? But I can see Peter being like afraid, and like leaning back and turning to Jesus, and like, but who is it, Jesus? Like almost like nervous and afraid, and like needing a safe place to be, right? And it's a beautiful moment, and I feel like we just never talk about this. So I kind of want to briefly ask around the table. We're not going to talk about Judas' betrayal here and about the dinner per se. We just want to talk about the intimacy. I'm very curious to kind of understand the intimacy of a relationship that you guys have with Jesus as your friend. If you guys want, if you guys may, you can skip this or not, but I'm kind of curious what that looks like for you guys, and if you guys truly use him as that for like it was for Peter in this particular instance, or not. So let me go around. John, for you, how intimate is your friendship with him? What does it mean to you? And if you can give us an example, maybe, of one time that you're like, if you want to share or not, that you probably took it to that level and you needed it or something, that'll be great. If not, that's fine. Just kind of want to know how deep that goes to between you and him, right?
I mean, so the only way I guess I could do this would be to compare the things that I've talked to him about, the interactions I've had with him with other people, right? And I would say that I'm closer to him than anyone. Obviously, he knows things about me, and I've told him things literally no one knows. You know what I mean? Well, except for maybe my wife. I've spent moments with him, just crying sometimes, which is very rare for me. Which I'm not super emotional. If I'm not laughing, that's like the only emotion I really show. Is humor and having fun. And so there's only a handful of people in my life that have seen me cry, and most of them aren't even in my life anymore. You know what I mean? So just that in of itself is kind of a big deal. And it's not like I don't want to cry. It's just I guess who I am or the way I was raised.
Okay, I like that. Adrian, how about for you, man? What is this like?
Well, so for me, in order to really understand my intimate relationship with Jesus, I have to incorporate the 5 love languages. For anyone who's not familiar with that, just look it up. It's the number 5 lovelanguages.com. And it talks about the 5 different ways that you can either express love or receive love. And one is physical touch, right? So in this situation, kind of, a hug or leaning into Jesus's chest. There's also words of affirmation, like, I love you, you're great, you're awesome, whatever. There's acts of service, which is, like taking the trash out for your significant other or whatever. There is gifts, which is physical gifts like Starbucks or food or whatever. And then there is quality time, right? Which is, undivided attention, spending quality time with your significant other, or, they have a version for like parent and child. A love languages, it's the same 5 love languages, but translated differently. And so for me to kind of explain the intimate love language or the intimacy that I have with Jesus, my 5 love languages, number 1 is quality time. Number 2 and 3 are tied, which is words of affirmation and physical touch. And then followed by acts of service and gifts, right? Gifts is very bottom because I appreciate gifts, but I don't really like. It's not that anyways, like I like it, but it's just not super influential on me. So anyways, right? So with words, with quality time being the number 1 aspect for me, followed closely by words of affirmation. Like for me, my intimate relationship with Jesus is spending more than just an hour at church, right? I've found recently that my confidence in life and my peace as I go through daily struggles and daily challenges have only increased the more I spend quality time with Jesus and with just talking to him. I consider words of affirmation kind of just more like talking, but like thanking him for my daily bread, for the ability to get up and walk and go to work and to do his will. Just every little thing that I try to do, like I give to him, and he in turn, right? Because the Bible says, like, whatever you give to God, he returns tenfold. And so I have found that the gifts that he's given me in that quality time and in that, words of affirmation have only built me up even more. And so there are things that I talk to Jesus about that honestly, like I wouldn't tell my parents, or I wouldn't even tell like my loving girlfriend. who I tell her a lot of things, but there are just some secrets that only God knows, and that I entrust to him, and therefore I know that he's going to take care of it. And so for me, my intimacy with Jesus is tied into how I like to give love and receive love.
It's more than just almost like a friendship for you. It really means
I legit love Jesus.
Formal love that is beyond any kind of love, if I get it right, that you could get it in here. That's pretty amazing. I love it. Travis, curious to hear from you. How's your relationship with your friend Jesus, if you have any? What does that look like for you?
Well, my friendship with Jesus is it's amazing. I'm able to, I can relate some back is actually my recovery, honestly. I have to lean on Jesus on my life. I'm able to, like AI was talking about, sitting there explaining all my deep secrets that other people don't know, but it's having that friendship with Jesus makes life a little bit easier because I have someone that I'm able to talk to every day, and I had to talk to him every day. If I don't talk to him every day, it's kind of I know where my world's going to start getting rocky. It's I had it perfect right, and I had everything out. I just went blank. Having the relationship that I have with him now is stronger than I did before. If that makes perfect sense at all. But having it where I'm able to sit there and talk about different things that at first I couldn't, and now I'm able to, because I can relate a little bit what Peter does is, when he's leaning back and he's laying on God, Jesus's chest and talking to him and asking him questions. It helps me do a better understanding that I need to lean forward on God and have God help me go through difficult situations. And I'm able to talk to him about, struggles that are going on. That I need your help, God. I don't understand this, but you do.
Amen, man. I like it. I like that. That's good. I like it. By the way, guys, I think I did a bad job of explaining. So I was able to find. I should have done a better job of explaining. But here is. Let me try to show you guys what I meant by how they were sitting. I think this is a good way to show. Found this image online. At the moment that you Google this stuff, it shows that painting, but this is a lot more accurate. You can see the washing of the feet, which is very, very important detail, and then you can see how there's kind of sideways. I guess I did it on the couch, so I kind of didn't work, but you can see how they're kind of sideways like that, and so it's very easy to lean back. This is supposed to be Jesus here. Lean back onto his chest because you're already kind of going that direction, which is very interesting. So culturally, these guys got a little bit better. I don't remember, because I study this in theology a little bit. I don't remember ever been this like step up or anything like that. And it could have been, it could have not. I don't remember the details of that. But the important thing is this, and people tend to miss that, and that's why I feel like a lot of people don't even study, this verse, which is just unbelievable. It's so pretty, so intimate, right? But it's perfect. Thank you guys for sharing that. I think we all have our own ways, but in the end, it's the same for all of us. I think it's a crucial relationship. It means the world to us. And I feel like all four of us have a very intimate one with him, where it almost feels like it's, at least for me, and I don't want to speak from you guys, but it's essential for me to be alive. It's almost like meaningless if I wasn't going to have it. You guys can think otherwise, but to me, this is that big of a deal. Okay, let's keep moving forward, guys, because we got a couple more verses to go, and we're running out of time. Let's jump into John chapter 15, and we're going to read... First John. What am I looking at? First John. not John, 1 John chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. Are we there, John?
That which you have seen and heard, we proclaim also to you, so that you too may have fellowship with us. Indeed, our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son, Jesus Christ. And we are writing these things that our joy may be complete.
Oh, man. We title this, Friendships Makes Us Complete, which is our greatest joy. Let's talk about that for a little bit. And this is how we're going to close this series, by the way, fam. We talked briefly, maybe 2 chapters ago, how the relationship with God is the relationship with the and John did a really good job at explaining the 3-in-1 combo that you get with Jesus and God the Father and God the Holy Spirit, right? It's not just with one. He do be dancing. He do be the Trinity dance over there. I see you, John. I see you. He's
it's a combo meal.
Oh, it's a combo meal. Oh, gotcha. It's very, very important. We talk about that. Reason why here in 1 John it only talks about the Father and the Son, Jesus Christ, is because of what? AI. Why is not the Holy Spirit there yet in this Bible verse?
Is it because Pentecost hasn't
happened?
Yet?
That's right. Right. It's very, very important to understand that. Right. This is not the period of grace yet. It's almost, but it isn't. And so that's the only kind of difference. So you guys will go, but hey, leader, it doesn't say the Holy Spirit here. Well, yeah, of course, he's still not there yet, but it's about to happen. And so just mind you that. But it's a beautiful message because it brings in the word fellowship, which I am really curious to see. Are you guys curious to understand what this is? Fellowship. G2842 koinoniha.
You sound like the SpongeBob Sponge Doodle thing from SpongeBob SquarePants when he has the giant pencil.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't watch SpongeBob, bro.
Leader, you need to watch SpongeBob. It's
why
funny.
would I watch SpongeBob?
It's
funny. What if I can watch My Hero Academia instead? What would I, watch SpongeBob?
Oh my gosh, Hero Academia has literally nothing on SpongeBob, bro.
I think you just offended him.
Did I just open a can of worms here, fam?
Yes. Oh man, we're gonna watch SpongeBob. This is the thing. We're gonna watch it in the Discord. We're gonna make it a weekly thing where we watch SpongeBob together.
I'm down.
Can we watch My Hero Academia instead?
But I want a Krabby
after Patty. SpongeBob.
SpongeBob first?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
One episode of SpongeBob, one episode of Hero Academia.
It's a 1-1 ratio.
Yeah.
Koi no niha. I didn't get the reference. Some of y'all did. Thank you for that. Sorry that I didn't get it. I killed the mood.
You wouldn't like it, lol.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I don't watch it, bro. Who watches SpongeBob? Don't hate me, chat. Don't hate me, chat. Don't hate me.
That was my childhood.
Koinoniha, which means partnership, that is literally participating or social intercourse or pecuniary benefaction to communicate, distribute, and fellowship, and comes from G2844, which is a sharer, an associate, a companion, a partaker, and a partner, which is really nice. The main word koinos, common, that they share something in common, right? Shared by all or several, which is pretty neat. That's the beauty about this Easter thing, guys, because fellowship to us, I feel like it's a very dilute word. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I feel like fellowship only happens in church nowadays. I feel like people don't go, hey, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna have this amazing fellowship.
Well, they do it in meetings too.
Yeah, but like if I want to go out with you guys for some wings at Chili's or someplace or Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever, I'm not gonna go and say, hey, let's have fellowship at Buffalo Wild Wings. I think.
Well, that doesn't change what it is, though.
But it should be, right? That's the whole point. It always should be, because the thing is,
true.
We have the same thing in common, which is by definition what this is talking about, which is in this particular stance is Jesus. We have one another, we love one another, and He loves us. So hence that's what it should be, right?
Yeah,
I feel like.
I guess the different forms of fellowship I could imagine, right? So like we have fellowship when we play Apex, right?
100%.
Or we have fellowship when we work together
100%.
on things, and we have fellowship when we eat meals together. We have fellowship when we go to church together. I feel like there's a lot of different forms of it, but recognizing that fellowship is important. You're right.
And I think that's what we've missed on. I feel like we as Christians have put the title fellowship only at church. This is fellowship what we're doing right now, fellas.
Yeah.
And in church, right? So I don't know. I think that's very interesting, and I think this is amazing. And the reason why this is so important, and the fact that I personally don't like that it's been diluted this hard, is because of verse 4 that says, "And these things we write, that our joy may be made full." The whole thing about this is us to be complete in joy. And if we just think about that we only get that kind of feeling at church, that's wrong. Right? And again, I'm sorry, guys, if I'm putting church out there. It's just that the problem is my mind is already wired culturally to accept fellowship at church or nowhere else. And that's not the case. God has given us one another and has given us a friendship with Him and with one another so that we're happy. And we can be happy all the time. Shoot, baby Huey.
So, and I understand the church deal too. But, I'm just going to relate to what I do is recovery. They do fellowship there. And there's some places that, in the group I go to is we put Jesus Christ as first, and then we do it as a fellowship. We recognize it as a fellowship getting together and putting Jesus in front. So, I kind of understand where, people only go and do fellowship is, just at church, not anywhere else. You could do it at your own home.
Yep.
Especially like you said, we're doing it right here. This is fellowship.
And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, Adrian, I think there's a good question for you. Because you've mentioned before how like this show has helped you tremendously over the last year and whatnot. I feel like we tend to forget whenever we hang out with friends, or even whenever we choose our friendships, right? Or who we're hanging out to, that if we want to achieve this wholesomeness and this joy, the common ground is Jesus Christ. And we tend to leave Jesus or our God out of our friendship. Am I right to think that way, Adrian? It has happened to me plenty, but I feel like you personally might have had a good experience of that as of late. And I'm sorry if I'm kind of throwing you in the spot in here, and I don't know if it's true either. But just kind of wanted to, because kind of curious, because I feel like you briefly have mentioned this before, or am I completely wrong? I just don't know what I'm talking about.
No, you're completely right. Just like ever since, like once I saw one episode of this, my spirit was moved, and I called you or I texted you like right away. I was like, yeah. Dude, I want in. Like, let me in. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about, but I want to talk about Jesus because, like, I knew I needed it, and I figured if I just talked about it more, then it would, like, osmosis, like, it would just slowly, like, just like gradually come back. And that's exactly what happened. And it's trickled into parts of my life that I didn't know that it would happen. But again, like I just kind of see it as like you know, like when you're trying to use like a paper towel, right? And you just put it on a wet spot and it just slowly like spreads throughout the whole towel. Like I feel like that's exactly what's happened with me. Literally, we just came together as friends and we just talked about this passion that we have. And then next thing I know, like it's rejuvenated my faith, which allowed me to be like, I honestly, like, I truly believe like it was the final missing piece that God needed me to achieve in order to have the relationship that I have with Mallory, who is very much like centered in her faith, like grounded in her faith. And she only wanted a faith-based man, which, and so like, and I'm lucky to have, like, she hates it when I say this, but I don't deserve her. But she has done so much for me and my family, especially through some of the difficult times that we've been going through. And if I hadn't just taken the leap of faith, pun intended, to do this, then I wouldn't be spiritually where I am. And to have the peace to handle, you know, the passing of my grandfather and all this stuff. Like it's just trickled into so many different places in my life that I never thought that it would actually get to. And so that's the amazingness.
I mean, personal question, and and this is no negative by any means, so don't take it wrong at all. And Chad, this is not me asking a negative question. It's just one of those things that I feel like it's even trickle into, that it's like underneath the sheets that you almost not see it. But before you read the gifts, the books that your girlfriend gave you, when was the last time that you read a Christian book?
I mean, I have the Bible app, and so I get like my daily verse.
Sure.
And so it's one of those, but again,
every day,
like it's just, yeah. So it was every day, but it was not intentional. Like it would pop up, I would read it, be like, oh, okay, that's cool, and then like, you know, go back to whatever I was doing. So it was not intentional. And now everything is intentional with having Christ centered, or at least like being the main ingredient in literally everything I do.
Okay, so the $1 million question: are you happier today because of this?
I am more at peace.
Okay. Are you more complete, I guess, is the better question. Do you feel like more complete or working towards that?
It's not, it's complete, yes, but I think the better word is content. Like I'm honestly, like losing the business to COVID was the best thing, because I was putting money and ambition and business plans before church, before God. And you know, in my study of the book by Tony Evans, No Excuses, I didn't realize that I was sinning against God by not trusting him and overworking myself. I thought I could do it all on my own. And that is saying God isn't strong enough to handle my business, my finances, because I tried to do it all on my own, which is just a flat out sin. And I didn't realize that I was doing it, because the business plan itself wasn't sinful, but I fell into temptation of what could happen if I did it all on my own. The money, the fame, the, you know, all that stuff. So losing that was the best thing for my sanity and for my faith.
That's crazy. That's crazy, right? You think you're losing what you've worked so hard for years. Because I remember when I was born, I was there. You were with me and said, hey, I'm doing my thing. And I told you, you're going to be one of the best CEOs out there. I remember that. And you were, I feel like. And then now God took that away from you.
Because I was doing it wrong.
And you just call that one of the best things it's happened to you. That to me, it's one of those things that is just.
I honestly do still think that God wants me to be in that position. However,
100%.
I need to do it his way.
There you go. There you go. Wow. I was lit right now. I was not fishing for this, AI. You just nailed it. I'm not lying. I got almost like a tear coming down my eye, because those things that to me are like so powerful just because I know how much it matters to you. Like, I've been there through the process. I've seen it, and I know where you took it, and I was always mind blown of how fast it went up and how amazing it was, and how just, you had your magazine going, like you have all this stuff that was just, I'm like, dude, this is so cool that in just a couple of years, this guy, and won back-to-back, photographer of the year or videographer, whatever awards you got back-to-back years. And like, it's just from a worldly perspective, it was nothing but success and exposure and fame almost in its own way. And for you to say, that where you are today is one of the best things that could happen to you is unbelievable. I also kind of feel like you're cheating because God has given you a girlfriend through this that is unbelievably loving to you and to God. But hey, mind you, it's cool. It works, bro.
No amount of money will be able to replace her. So
good man. John and Travis, I feel like you both had a lot to say. I saw a couple of y'all reacting and John raising your hand. So John, what's up, man? What you got to say?
I was actually going to say something because so in the Bible verse here, they're talking about how they're like the gospel is amazing, and I'll just read it. So that which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we looked upon and have touched with our hands concerning the word of life, which is actually Jesus, right? The life was made manifest, and we have seen it and testified to it and proclaimed to you that eternal life, which was with the Father and was made manifest with us.
Wow.
That which we have seen and heard, we proclaim also to you, so that you too may have fellowship with us. And indeed, our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son, Jesus Christ. And we are writing these things so that our joy may be complete, right? So earlier you said, are you happier, right? And I think an important distinction in this Bible verse and in exactly what Adrian said, because Adrian hit it on the head. He just missed the word, which is joy. Joy and happiness are different. Happiness is circumstantial based on what's happening in your life. Joy is given by Christ, and it's something that we decide to have, right? So they're talking about how Jesus is their joy, them accepting Christ and having fellowship with them is their joy, right? And so when they're unhappy due to circumstance, they look back on the things Christ has done and they find joy. And that's exactly what Adrian was talking about. Adrian's talking about how he has the joy of Christ.
Preach.
Amen, John. Good point, bro. I totally forgot about it too. That's a very big distinction. Oh, mic drop, pen drop, whatever that was. Travis, we're gonna finish with you, and we're gonna go to final thoughts. Travis, I'm kind of curious, and also feel free to open up or not open up because you mentioned recovery. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how your friendship and relationship with God has helped you, and maybe friendship with either us or some other friends that are important to you have impacted you on where you're at today versus where you were then? If you want to, I mean, this is very personal, but if you don't, then that's fine. I just kind of curious.
Well, I can say this. I'm willing to open up because I'm not ashamed anymore. Okay. I used to be ashamed. I used to be ashamed to call myself a drug addict. I am proud to be a drug addict because of the path that I took. I'm proud to be sober today. I can say that loud and proud. I have a buddy of mine that I do with.
Hey, let's go.
He's in recovery too. And we talk about Jesus all the time. Not having, and I can say this, is that not having Jesus Christ in my life, I relapse. Having Jesus in my life now is that I'm able to move forward. My relationship with him is 10 times stronger when I didn't have him. Because I was like AI was talking about, I was doing this on my own. I never put Jesus first. Not putting Jesus Christ first made me go do what I was going to do on my own. But what was nice and every day that I learned is Jesus is always right there. He was with me whenever I was doing my drugs. And having friendship in recovery is making my relationship strong. Having this this Bible talk all the time is making my relationship stronger. Because what's the cool thing is I'm able to pray for people when they're struggling. Because I struggled. I understand that struggle, struggling. And that's why I have to turn everything over to God. My rent that was supposed to be due last month, I was able to just go, okay, God, this is you. And I need your help to guide me, teach me to do what needs to happen for this rent to be paid. And whenever I turn it over to God and put God first, things tend to happen. And it's amazing. The joy,
Amen.
the happiness that happens with that. Come in here and be able to pray with y'all and then watch how people grow, especially watching AI grow. It's amazing. Every time he glows, every time he gets happy, and just watching
Stop,
different
you're making
things
me
happen.
blush.
It's okay, you'll be right. And then watching Alex, and I don't know if it's okay, but when we were working together, watching who we were and then how big our relationship got through Christ, and we're able to sit here and talk about Christ and talk about different things. I can say this, that God does so much change in my life that I'm able to focus on him more than anything else. My recovery's a lot stronger. I'm not worried about, I could be around people that are doing drugs and still say no. Because he's took that desire away from me because I asked him to. It's amazing to love Jesus for who he is. And, it hurts whenever I hear people say, I don't know who Jesus is. You really want to, because it's amazing. Your world gets rocked. My world got rocked. It done a whole 360. I spiraled down. And right now, I'm learning and growing every day because I talk about Jesus and I learn of what he's doing. So, yeah, my relationship with Jesus is amazing.
Yeah, man. Thank you for sharing, dude. Thank you for opening up. That's our prayer warrior right there for you guys. If you're curious to see the face behind the amazing friendship and friend and loving person that Travis is, our big teddy bear who really cares for you guys. Now you met him, for who he is, where he coming from, and why he cares so much. I feel like this speaks a lot on why it's so important for you to care for other people and love on other people, and that's amazing, Travis. Good for you. I think we all got to learn something from each other, right? I think me specifically, this last year has been great because I've taken little of y'all to build my relationship with my God, my Father, right? And that's amazing. So I'm very thankful for the three of you guys, and will always be. It's been a special time. John, I kind of want to get to you. We're gonna go to final thoughts. But John, I think you have a question for us, I believe. Is that so, or no, or not anymore?
Yeah, it's super off topic though. It's more just like a personal question that I want to ask. Baby Huey. So we can wait till afterwards.
Let's do it on the chat, guys. Travis, actually, why don't you do the announcement of what happens after this show, please, so people can get ready.
Hey guys, I'm excited, man. Come meet us right after on Discord. Get on there and download it. Whatever has got to happen, come with us and meet and be able to chit chat and ask us questions. And that's what's awesome. Discord is where it happens, where we pray 24/7, nonstop. It's where our family here, and we have people behind the scenes as well that actually jump on these prayers. Meet us, get to know us a little bit more. We talk here for just so long. We'll be able to talk to you longer, and we pray right after about any issues, and we love to talk about it too.
Boom. Let's get it. Final thoughts then, fellas. I'm going to start this one just because for me, it's been an unbelievable series, guys. This was really, really fun to go through. Friendship series. We have one of my best friends from Mexico join us earlier, or in the first episode of the season. So shout out to you, Pep. I don't know if you're watching, but I love you, man. Thank you for joining us. Very special to see all sides of a friendship relationship type of thing, where from anywhere from the type of relationship that it is, right? That is more than a relationship itself. Is more like a covenant, right? There's a lot of commitment going from both sides. We are supposed to follow God's commands, right? And if we do so, then we're His friends. But it's amazing what it all entitles, and I'm very, very happy that we were able to read about this, and I feel pretty good about all this stuff. It makes me feel really happy and joyful. I do believe that this, especially in times like this, is one of the things that we can hold on to each other and just love on each other and grow in Christ together in fellowship. And that's, to me, very, very special. So that's my final thoughts, fellas. John, final thoughts, buddy?
Oh, yeah, I got thoughts.
Always.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I think something that, I don't know, it just came into my head, so I'm just going to say it. The very first verse that we talked about, God says that if you love me, then you'll do what I say, right? And if you're my friend, then you'll do what I say, right? And I was like, man, if literally anyone else in my life said that to me, I would not be their friend anymore at all. It would end right there, 100%. Because I feel like as soon as someone tries to wield authority over me, I like push back on that super hard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so the more I think about it, I kind of ask the question: how can we be friends with someone who has authority over us,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like a king or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right? Or in this case, Jesus. And so I think to preserve friendship, oftentimes someone that's me being the person under authority, right? I still have to respect that authority in order to truly be friends with that individual. You know what I mean? To truly love that person, I still have to submit myself to them. And so it's interesting. That's something I have to work on in my life. And so that's just what I was thinking about before it ended. So that's what I'm talking about.
Perfect. That works. AI, final thoughts, baby.
So, final thoughts to wrap up the entire friendship series. I'm also going to end with a challenge, but before that, we took a lot of verses from Proverbs, and there's one more that I'd like to share. I don't know, leader, if you want to display this, but it's Proverbs
100%.
27.
Getting there.
Verse 17.
Proverbs. Oh, I'm in New Testament. No wonder.
Yep.
Proverbs 27, verse
27:17.
Okay, shoot.
Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens another man. Right. So we've talked about how friendship is not just a nice thing, but a necessity. Like, we were not meant to go through this world alone. And as like iron sharpens iron, we need each other to sharpen others, right? And so my challenge to kind of wrap up this friendship series is what's up, John Andrew? So my challenge to you guys as we close this friendship series is, in the world of business, we've talked about this a couple times. I haven't mentioned it here, but it's actually a perfect reference. But there's 3 types of friends that you need. Now, you can have like multiple of these types, but you need at least 3 different types of friends. Number 1 is you need a Paul, right? We did a whole series on Paul, on how he went out and he sought other people to help them, right? And so we need someone older, wiser, and we ourselves need to be able to humble ourselves and realize that we need some spiritual guidance, right? Since we're talking about the Bible, like, we need spiritual guidance. Amen. No matter where you are in life, there's still someone that you can learn from. So for me, there is, I used to have my youth minister whenever I was in youth group. He was my spiritual leader. we're not as tight anymore. And so there is someone else that I'm looking to be mentored by, right? So you need to find a spiritual mentor. The second type is a peer. So a Paul to a Barnabas, right? So people who are at your same level, whether that is like where you are in life or maybe the same age. So literally the three other guys that are in this group right now, I would consider peers, people that are going through the same struggles that I am, in our 20s and 30s as we continue, as we're just starting life, right? And so you need to have a spiritual peer, which is the reason why I really love this Bible talk every single week. And then lastly, we all need a Timothy to a Paul, right? So at some point, even though we ourselves probably don't feel like we have anything to give, there's actually so much that we can give just by talking about our experiences, about our testimony, whether it's with Christ or Christ in our lives or just going through life, right? But we need a mentee, right? And that type of friendship is super important because at all three of these levels, they hold you accountable in different ways. Having someone above you is a kind of an authoritative figure, which is probably not like John's thing. But I remember there was one time that I needed leader, and I was asking because I saw the relationship that he had with his wife, and so I asked him a couple things, and he shot straight at me. He goes, "Bro, if you do this one thing, we can't be friends anymore." And I'm just like, oh, okay, like I won't do that one thing, like obviously for the sake of the person that I was talking about, but I definitely don't want to ruin my friendship with a peer. And then having someone beneath you hold you accountable because you have someone that looks up to you. So there's someone that's literally scrutinizing your every word and action that looks up to you, and you could essentially be making a carbon copy of yourself. So what are you spreading to the next generation? So that's my challenge to you guys as I close this series is, do you have those three types of friendships: a mentor, a peer, and a mentee?
Also, Jonan says that you need a Gollum or Smeagol. So
there you go.
That's a good point. Very good. Travis, you're the last one, man. Give us some really good final thoughts and take us to Discord, man.
I'm gonna say this. I'm kind of gonna piggyback just a little bit on AI stuff. It's called wise counsel. And that's what for me, I have to have that wise counsel. Even you gotta have. For me, I have to have Jesus as that wise counsel, and other people. Just the ones that AI was mentioning. You got to have different people that have different levels of different ideas that are going on. Sometimes your wise counsel can tell you one thing, but are you willing to listen is the second thing. It's like, the challenge that I have is, what is Jesus trying to tell me through my wise counsel? And if I'm not able to hear what's going on, then I'm pretty much not listening to Jesus Christ at all. But the friendship, you got to have those friendships. It's the best time to have is when you do have those friendships, putting Christ first with that relationship to become your very good friends, because they're going to be able to talk to you and you're able to talk to them about what's going on, because you never know what the struggles are. They could be going through something a whole lot different, but you might have a good idea for them to change on that. I have a good friend of mine that I use. He's like a wise counsel for me. I'm not sure which level I would put him at, but I'm able to talk to him about different things, and we're able to share ideas where we could be able to fix something if there's struggles or anything. But, it's always good to have a friendship. It's like our friendship leader, where we came from work to this and be able to talk about Christ. The more I stay strong with Christ, the better my world gets.
Mm-hmm.
The more I walk away from Christ, the worse my world gets.
Mm.
You know, but you know, I like those challenges, and I think I'm gonna have more. I think I'm gonna take AI's challenge and run with it tonight.
I like it. Very good.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
take us into Discord, man. Again, another shout out because we talked about that a long time ago now. It feels like.
Yeah. Well, come pray with us, man. That's awesome.
Let's do it, fellas. Thank you guys so much. You guys were amazing. Chat. Thank you for joining us today. Bible Talk. We're in episode 38 now. We just finished our 6th episode of Friendship, and that was amazing. It's amazing to have you guys through this journey. Who knows what we're going to talk about next Wednesday, so just be ready to roll. Thank you, everybody that joined us. We love you. We can't wait to see you at Discord for real. Join us there. We're about to hop in there. John is already typing right now, tagging the people to make sure that they get there. Looking at me, he's going hard at it. Let's meet us over there. So, baby Huey can
long legs over there.
Can
typing
long legs. So baby Huey can pray for us, fellas. We will love you, and we can't wait to see you next Wednesday. Who knows where we're gonna be at, but we're excited. We'll see you then. See ya.